Hello, welcome to Sip's Wood Chips. I'm Sip Mendes. What I want to do today is make a lamp for my lathe. And I want to make a lamp that mounts on the banjo so that when I move the banjo around, it also moves the light around. I'm always shopping through thrift shops, and I'm always picking up these old desk lamps that have flexible necks on them. So I'm going to try to use one of these. Here's another one. This is a clip-on one. I don't like the clip-on one because it always gets loose and gets in the way. Got a little bit of steel here. Here's a bracket for a shelf, and it's got good steel, so I'll probably use this for some of the steel that I'm going to need. Let's go over to the lathe and I'll show you what it's going to look like. So here's my wood lathe, and this is the banjo. And the banjo is made to slide around back and forth. And what I did was I made a lamp that attached to the banjo, and that way I can get light where I need it around my lathe. And when I move my banjo out of the way, it moves the light out of the way. And so I want to make one of those. And what I did was I made a bracket that wraps around the banjo, and it's not bolted directly into the metal of the banjo, but rather there's brackets that clip underneath it. I was very lucky on this lamp because it had this piece of metal, and all I had to do was straighten it and put a bolt through it to keep it in place. The one I'll do today might be a little bit more complicated. Here's my lamp, and I disassembled it, and at this point I don't want to cut the cord, but I may have to cut it later. And the nut is still on there that was holding it on. So on the clamp, I cut the plastic here, and to get it out of there without having to cut the wire. Here's the brackets. I disassembled those. I had to grind off the rivets and then knock them through with a punch. And so now I have a piece of metal to start with. So what I'm going to do now is start bending my bracket around. I know it needs to go in about that far. The next piece has to be a little bit over a quarter of an inch. And so I'm going to take a piece of the steel and put it in here. And one way I can do that is to put this piece of steel here. Help it bend right about where that hole is. And that's going to be the grip. Here's my banjo, and I turned it around 180 degrees. This is the hook I made, and what it's going to do is it's going to come up under here and grab the underside. And that looks pretty good. Now I need to know where to bend it. And the easiest way to do that is stick it in there. I have a little piece of metal here, and I'll put it across there. And then just mark with the pencil, and then take off, and then draw a line for the underside. So I need to bend it somewhere in that range. Line it up with the top edge of my vise, and I'm going to bend that over. so now I have the grip that'll go under it, clip over. I went over to the banjo and I made some other measurements. This is the width of my banjo from here to here, and this part here, about an extra inch or so, is where I'm going to cut. Okay, now we'll round that off on the grinder in a little while. So I mostly want to square up my cut and then round off the corners. And the same with this one. Remove any burrs. Let's see here. I'm gonna make another bend, and I'm gonna use this other one here because that's got a big old kink in it. So I'll go down about that far. Start my bend here. Piece of metal in there. And finish the bend. When I drill a hole through it and put it together, it'll have some tension. It'll be tight. I marked where I'm going to cut this side off. So how this is going to work is this is going to clip under one side of the banjo. This will clip under the other side of the banjo. I'll drill a hole through here to pull them both together. Then I will mount my lamp up here somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just round it off on the grinder. Now I need to drill a 1/4 inch hole here and a matching hole here. And I'll do that on my drill press. I went ahead and put it in a clamp so I could hold it a little bit tighter. the hole. Okay, so here's how my bracket's going to fit together. That part's going to go across one side. This one will come up from the other side. Put a bolt through there. This one will come up from under here. And this one will come from the bottom. So for this part, I need to take this piece of metal. I need to bend it at 90 degrees here. And I'm going to form like a small box on the other side. So this needs to be about an inch. Like that. And it needs to then bend the other way. And the next part needs to also bend down. It can be quite long. Room. And now I need to cut it right about here. Okay. So I need to cut this the same length as this one is. And then I'll finish my bending. Square that up a little bit. Grinder. I just mostly want to round off the corners. That, make it straighten up a little bit. I need to drill a 1/2-inch hole in the top of this. So there's my bracket, and I still need to drill a 1/2-inch hole in the top of this. So I need to drill a 1/4-inch hole in this one first. we need to drill a 1/2 inch hole here, but I'm going to go ahead and drill a 1/4 inch hole for a pilot hole. Okay, so this is the scary part because I have to drill a 1/2 inch hole in here, and I don't want it to grab. Wasn't too bad. Now I can pass my lamp through there. Unfortunately, I couldn't disconnect the lamp on the bulb end, so I had to cut off the electrical connection, and I'll put a new connector on the end. So now I'm going to pass my wire through my bracket, and I'm also going to pass the nut through there while I'm at it. That puts my nut through here. Okay. So I'll put the wrench on there and grip it with this plier. Let's see, tighten it a little. There it goes. And I've threaded my bolt through the underside. Now we'll put this one on top. We'll get a couple of threads started on it. That. Tighten it down. That together. And there we go. Okay, so here's my lamp. And it works pretty good. It has a little switch on the top so I can turn it on and off when I need to. And when I move my tool rest out of the way, it also moves the lamp out of the way. And that's what I really like about it. So if you've enjoyed this video, click on like. If you're not a subscriber, click on subscribe. And you'll get notices whenever we publish. Or also, if you're not a member of YouTube, sign up for an account. That way you can leave comments and ask questions.